Good morning, students. So, in today's session, we are going to discuss about a new chapter, that is business environment. Okay. So, in the previous session, in the concluding session of planning chapter, so I told you about business environment. So, what is business environment? So, business environment is it kind of environment which is what controlled by the other dimensions. Okay, so the business environment will have other dimensions, so these dimensions are totally outside the business organization but will have impact or will have its what effect on business environment. Yeah, they are totally outside the business organization. Even though they are totally outside the business organization, its impact or it will affect the business environment. So I gave you certain examples like legal environment maybe, or political environment, or economic environment. So all these are the ones which are outside the business organization. They are totally outside the business organization but will affect the business organization. They will really affect the business organization or the working of business organization. So any changes in these dimensions, yeah, it may be political or legal or your economical or social environment. Yes, so any changes in this environment will have impact or will bring changes in the business environment. So like I told you previously, business environment is totally dynamic in nature. They are not static. They keep changing according to the changes happen or that takes place in the economy. Okay, so let's go for the meaning of business environment. So what is business environment? So business environment means a sum total of all individuals. Business environment means a sum total of all individuals, institutions and other forces that are outside the control of the business, that are outside the control of the business enterprise, that are outside the control of business enterprise but that may affect its performance. So it is sum total of all individual institutions and other forces. Yes, they are nothing but the dimensions. Okay, so dimensions that are outside the control of business enterprise. Yes, like I told you, these dimensions which will affect the business environment is totally outside the business organization and they are not in control of the business organization. So the business environment cannot control these outside enterprises or outside activities or other forces that will affect the business environment. So these forces are outside the control or outside the control of business enterprise but that may affect its performance. They are totally outside the control. So ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ದಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಅನ್ನುವಾಗ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಅಥವಾ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ದು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? ಸೊ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರೈಸಸ್ದು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲದೇ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದರ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಅದರ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರೈಸಸನ್ನು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೆಡ್ ದಟ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸಮ್ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ and other forces that are outside the control of business enterprise, that is totally outside the control of business enterprise but may affect its performance. So this that is business environment is totally or it is a sum total of all the individuals, yes, that are outside the control of the business. Yes, okay, outside the business enterprise, they are totally outside. So business environment is a sum total. It is a total of all the and what activities or forces that are totally outside the business organization, correct ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, that are outside the business organization but will affect the performance of business organization. So business organization is sum total of all the dimensions. So ಯಾವಾಗ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ dimensions ಸೇರುತ್ತೆ, then it can be said as a business environment. So business environment is totally outside the what business enterprise. Yes, there is a difference between business enterprise and business environment. Yes, business enterprise is an organization and business environment is the place where a business enterprise is carrying out its activities. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು business enterprise ಅದರ activities ಅನ್ನು carry out ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, that is called as business environment. It is called as business environment. Okay, so it is totally not under the control of business organization. It is totally not under the control of business organization. So business environment, yes, it includes all the dimensions. So dimensions of business environment is social, political, legal, technological and economic environment. So all this consists of, all this in total is called as business environment. So any changes in this business environment, yes, business environment ಅನ್ನುವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಲೀಗಲ್, ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿಕಲ್, ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್, ಎಕನಾಮಿಕಲ್, ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್, ಇದು 5 ಸೇರುವಾಗ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ 5ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ದಿ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರೈಸ್. ಅದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರೈಸನ್ನು ಇಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್. ಸೊ it is a external force. Yes, it is a external force which is outside the organization or enterprise but which will affect the business organization or performance of the business organization. So economic, social, political, technological and other forces which operate outside the business enterprise. Yes, economic, social, political, technological and other forces which operate outside a business enterprise are part of its environment. Yeah, like I told you, business environment includes all this. It is economical, social, political, technological, yes, and legal. Okay, so this are the what dimensions, or all this in full, or all this in total is called as business environment. Okay, so business environment ಅನ್ನೋದು separate concept ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರುವಾಗ it is business environment. All this constitutes a business environment. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರುವಾಗ ಅದನ್ನು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ದಟ್ ದೀಸ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್, ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್, yes, which are available are likely to influence the performance of business enterprise. Clear? Okay, so although they happen to exist outside its boundaries, so even though they are they exist outside the boundaries of a business enterprise, even though they exist outside the boundaries of business organization, then what happens is that they will have effect. Yes, even though they exist outside its boundaries, they will have certain effect on the performance, or it influences on the performance of the business organization. So it may be changes in government economic policies, or rapid technological changes, or political uncertainty, or changes in fashions and taste of customers. Yes, so increase in competitions maybe. So all this influence the working of the business enterprise or an organization. Yes, okay, it may be changes on government economic policies, or political uncertainties, or changes in fashion or anything, or increased competition. So all this will influence the working of business environment in an important way. So increase, sometimes what happens, increase in taxes by government can make things expensive to buy. Yes, so when government increases the tax, then obviously the tax will be put on the products. Yes, okay, so what happens, the products becomes expensive, then the technological improvement may render existing products obsolete. So when new technology comes, into existence, the old technology becomes obsolete. The old technology becomes obsolete. Obsolete is nothing but outdated. Yes, the old technology becomes outdated. Okay, so all this has to be taken into consideration. Okay, so political uncertainties may create fear in the methods of investors. So there are changes that the political, when the political what party changes, yes, so it may bring certain fear in the minds of investor. Why? Because the investor will not have any idea regarding what a political party or what kind of decision a political party is going to take. Okay, so the things, or the person who is an investor thinks about what has to be or what is to be done, or what are the decision that has to be taken. Okay, so the next one, the next concept is like, before going with the features, I'll just explain some more. So changes in fashion, it may be changes in fashion or taste in taste of the customers may shift demand in the market from existing product to new product. So obviously when we come across a new product in the market, or the new style, yes, or a design, what we do is like we shift from old design to new design. We shift from old design to new design. ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಹಳೆ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಇಂದ ಹೊಸ ಡಿಸೈನ್ಗೆ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತೀವಿ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಜಂಪ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಟು ನ್ಯೂ ಡಿಸೈನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಲಿಸೀಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ effect on a business enterprise. Okay, so now we'll go to the features of business environment. Features of business environment. So what are the features of business environment? So see that you are thorough with this concept. Why? Because see, I'll tell you that there is a difference between business environment and business enterprise. Business enterprise is an organization, and business environment is a place where the activities or business activities are carried out. Business activities are carried out. Okay, so what happens, any changes in the business environment will have effect. Okay, so I told you all the outside forces, that is it may be technological or political or social or economical. So these what environment or these dimensions will change, or these will have link with the business environment, or business environment constitute of all this. So any changes in this, yes, will affect the business enterprise to a greatest extent. It may be political change or technological change or cultural or social or legal or any other change. It will have an impact, or it will bring certain changes in the environment, that is business what enterprise. Okay, so now we'll go to the features of business environment. Features of business environment. So under the features of business environment, the first one is totality of external forces. Totality of external forces. So when I started with the business environment concept, I just told you the meaning of business environment. It is a sum total of all things. Yes, it is a sum total of all things that are external to business firm, that are outside the business firm. Yes, that are external, that are outside to business firm, and such are aggregative in nature, but they affect the performance of business organization. So it is in total, in total it is a external force which affects the performance of business organization. So business environment is a sum total of all things external to the business firms. Yes, external to the business firms, and as such it has a aggregative nature. Yes, aggregative nature. The next one is specific and general forces. Specific and general forces. So what is the specific and general force? Okay, so the business environment, yes, the business environment, it includes both specific as well as general forces. It includes both specific as well as general forces. Okay, so specific forces are like investors maybe, or customers, or competitors or suppliers. Yes, okay. So they affect individual enterprise directly and immediately in the day-to-day workings. Yes, okay. So business environment, it includes both specific and also general forces. So specific forces are the one which include investors, customers, competitors, or suppliers. Okay, so they are individual enterprises or affect individual enterprises directly. They affect the individual enterprises directly and immediately in their day-to-day working. It affect directly and immediately in their day-to-day working. ಅವರ day-to-day working ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವಿಲ್ think about this. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ specific forces ಅನ್ನುವಾಗ it affects directly. So directly, so ಈಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸ್, ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಸ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್. Okay, so when the taste and preference of a customer changes, or the competitors, yes, or the investors, or the other people, that is suppliers. Okay, so all this will bring immediate change in the business organization. Okay, so it will affect immediately and directly, that is only to that particular organization and not to the other organization. Suppose you got investors, so investors have invested in a company. Yes, investors have invested in a company. Okay, so any changes in the investment will affect only the A company. Okay, so suppliers, A supplier is sending some goods or supplying some goods to B company. A supplier is sending or supplying some goods to B company. Any changes in the supply, any changes in the supply will affect only the B company. It will affect only the B company. This is specific force. It is affecting directly to that particular company only. Yes, it is affecting only to that particular ಕಂಪನಿ. ಬರೀ ಆ ಕಂಪನಿನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್. Yes, it is affecting one particular group or one particular aspect. Okay, so it is not affecting in general ಆಗಿ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸ್ when it shifts from one particular product to other particular product, yes, ಅವನು ಯಾವ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟಿಂದ ಜಂಪ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಆ ಕಂಪನಿಗೆ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೊರತು ಟೋಟಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪನಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಅದು ಇಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಸ್, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? ಅವನು ಯಾವ ಕಂಪನಿನ ಜಂಪ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಆ ಕಂಪನಿಗೆ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೊರತು ಯಾವುದೇ ಬೇರೆ ಕಂಪನಿಗೆ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಸ್, ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್. ಇಟ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ. ಎಸ್, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಟು ದಟ್ ಅವ್ನು ಏನು ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರ, ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಜನರಲ್ forces, when coming to general forces, yes, it include social, political, legal, technological conditions. Yes, okay, so all these will have impact on the business enterprises, and this may affect an individual firm only indirectly. Yes, it will not affect directly. Okay, political change, yes, a political change or a social change or legal or technological conditions or changes, it will affect the business organization or an individual organization. Yes, not directly but indirectly. ಬರೀ ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೊರತು ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ, ಟೋಟಲಿ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ indirectly. There will be no direct interaction or direct effect to this particular organization. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರಲ್ ಫೋರ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಜನರಲ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Yes, okay, in general forces, it affects in general, not directly to one particular organization but to all organization. That is not directly but totally indirectly. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಏನಾರು ಆದರೆ ಅದು ಬರೀ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ನ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಸ್ನ ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ನ ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ indirectly. The next one is interrelatedness. Interrelatedness. Okay, so when coming to interrelatedness, different elements of or part of the business environment are closely interrelated. So different elements or parts of business environment, different elements or parts of business environment is closely interrelated. They are closely interrelated. Okay, so I'll give an example. So increased life expectancy of people, increased life expectancy of people and increased awareness of healthcare has increased the demand for many health products. Yes, okay, increased life expectancy rate and the increased awareness of healthcare. Yes, so people are concentrating more on their health. Yes, so one is increased life expectancy of people, the second one is increased awareness of healthcare have increased the demand for many health products and services. Yes, so for this has given rise to diet coke maybe or fat free cooking oil and health resorts. So new health products and services have in turn changed people's lifestyle. Yes, new products are getting introduced into the market. That is, new health products and services have in turn changed ಪೀಪಲ್ಸ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್. ಸೊ ಮೊದಲೆಲ್ಲ ಶುಗರ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಅಥವಾ ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಕುಕ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಥವಾ ಡಯಟ್ ಕೋಕನ್ನು ಯಾರು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಯಾವಾಗ it came into existence or it is introduced in the market, the people they started buying these kind of products, okay, which is not really necessary, but people have an intention or they are totally into their health, or they are totally health conscious. So when they are health conscious, they take up new things that arrive in the market which will affect or which will help them to keep up their health in a good manner. Okay, so the next one is dynamic nature. Yes, dynamic nature. So dynamic nature, so I told you that in the previous classes, yes, business environment is totally dynamic in nature. Yes, it keeps changing, it keeps changing, it is not static, it keeps changing from every now and then. Okay, so whether in terms of technological improvements or shifting in customer preferences or entry of new competitions in the market, so business environment is totally dynamic. Yes, business environment is totally dynamic. So it keeps changing, it is not at all static. ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ business environment static ಆಗಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, it keeps changing. Yes, it just keeps changing, it is totally dynamic, it is totally dynamic, it keeps changing. Okay, the next one is uncertainty. Yes, so when the business organization is dynamic, obviously it keeps changing. So the person who is a business concern cannot predict what may happen in the future in the business organization. Okay, so uncertainty, so business organization is largely uncertain. It is largely uncertain as it is very difficult to predict the future happenings, especially when it comes to environment changes. Yes, okay, especially when it comes to environmental changes, you can't predict anything what may happen in the future. Yes, okay, you might have expected a great profit, but some situations will bring losses to you which are totally not predicted. ಏನು ಪ್ರೆಡಿಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So environmental changes are taking place too frequently. So when environmental changes takes place too frequently, then it will have a major effect on the business organization. Okay, so in case of your information technology and fashion industries, yes, information, that is IT sector and fashion industries, it is keep on changing. Yes, it keeps changing every now and then, so it is totally uncertain. So you can't be predicting your future every now and then. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸರಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಪ್ರೆಡಿಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸಿಟಿ. complexity. Okay, so since business organization or business environment, it contains of numerous interrelated and dynamic conditions or forces, yes, which arises from different sources. So the dynamic conditions and interrelated aspect, it comes from different source. Since business environment consists of numerous interrelated and dynamic conditions or forces which arise from different sources, it becomes difficult to comprehend at once what exactly constitutes a given environment. Okay, what exactly constitutes a given environment. So this environment is a complex phenomenon that is relatively easier to understand in parts but difficult to grasp in its totality. So things keeps changing, yes, dynamic conditions takes place which arise totally from different sources, yes. Okay, so it says that the environment or the concept of environment is a complex phenomenon that is relatively easier to understand in parts. Yes, it is relatively easier to understand in parts but difficult to grasp in its totality. So you can't grasp each and everything in total. Yes, ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಬೈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಾಗ ಅದು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ವೆನ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಟೋಟಲಿಟಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. It is difficult to understand. So it may be difficult to know the extent of relative impact of social, economical, political, technological and legal factors on change in demand of the product in the market. Yes, okay. So like I told you, in simple or in parts, or it is easy to understand the phenomenon in parts. ಎಸ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಬೈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಸಿ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ when it is taken as totality, it is really very difficult. So that is why I told you it may be difficult to know the extent of relative impact of social, is economical or technological. So ಇದರ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಏನೋ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅದರ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಬೈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋಕೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಸಿ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಬಟ್ ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟು ಬಿಗ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟೋಟಲಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್. ಅದು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಲೇಟಿವಿಟಿ. So when coming to relativity, business environment is totally a relative concept. Business environment is totally a relative concept. So since it differs from country to country and even region to region, yes, the political condition in USA will not be as same as the political condition of India. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಯು ಎಸ್ ಎದು ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್, ಅಥವಾ ಚೈನಾದ್ದು ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಯು ಎಸ್ ಎದು ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್, ಚೈನಾದ ಅಥವಾ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದ ಅಥವಾ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನದ್ದು. ಸೊ the political condition of and business of every country differs from one another. Okay, so similarly, so demand of one country will totally differ from the demand in the other. So ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಯಾರೀಸ್ಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಆನ್ ದ ಅದರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ನೀವು ಯು ಎಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಯಾರೀಸ್ಗೆ ಡಿಮಾಂಡೇ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಟೋಟಲಿ ಡಿಫರ್ಸ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟೋಟಲಿ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. ಇಟ್ ಡಿಫರ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಒನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಟು ಅನದರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಒನ್ ರೀಜನ್ ಟು ಅನದರ್ region. Okay, so like I told you, political condition in USA is totally different from that of India or China or Pakistan or any other country. Okay, similarly the demand for sarees. There will be a good demand for sarees in India, but you cannot have the same demand in US or France or Italy or Germany or any other country. Okay.